we get here? How did this massive disruption happen? While everyone is blaming Amazon and Zara, I would argue this has little to do with them. This revolution started quietly 20 years ago. So who are the culprits? Let me introduce you to the three drivers of this massive disruption: data, discounting, and price transparency. I want you to pay attention to this first point about data because it may sound suspect, but you will have to just accept this as fact. Data killed off employees, it killed off companies, it nearly killed off the entire industry. It was all brains and no instinct. Long gone were the merchants who were the true visionaries, the good old days of Fred Pressman, the founder of Barney's, Marvin Traub at Bloomingdale's. These people bet their entire careers on the decisions they made of what to buy. But the department stores stopped believing in them. The merchants didn't matter. They started hiring people who were good with the numbers, good with the data, stealing from the industry its soul and its creativity. Here's the flaw, the near fatal flaw with data. Data can only tell you about the things you've already done. Data cannot innovate. Data is not creative. The job of a fashion designer is to be creative, to know what you want before you even think you want it, to create an illusion that once you've seen it, you feel like you've always wanted it. You see, if something has truly never been done before, there is no data. So the department stores were using the internal data from the point of sale and then demanding designers use it too. And before you knew it, department stores were looking at spreadsheets to make decisions about what to force the designers to create for each season's collections. I remember it like clockwork. Ellie would come into my office at the end of every market week, frustrated, and start yelling. I'm going to do my best impression of him right now. These people at the stores don't know what they are doing. They want to look at these spreadsheets and tell me how I should do my collection. They're telling me no more prints in color, just black. How am I supposed to sell just black? Is this a joke? And 4 times a year, for more than a decade, it went on like this. But in the end, Ellie was right. The stores were demanding designers produce exactly what the data said, and they produced a lot of it. It's crazy. Something to the tune of 100 billion garments were produced last year. 100 billion garments. And we're all wondering why we walk into the stores and feel like there's nothing to buy. Can you just humor me? Raise your hand if you feel like you have nothing to wear. I'm sure the women will raise their hand. Okay. But you're right. There is a sea, she's still waving her hand. There's a sea of sameness out there. Well, I don't know if you can see this, but there are 7.5 billion people on the planet, and 3/4 of them can't even afford to buy any of this 100 billion garments that were produced. And even if they could, that means every single person on the planet would have bought 17 new pieces of clothing last year. Compared to 15 years ago, consumers are buying 60% more clothing and keeping them half as long. And 25% of the 100 billion garments produced ends up in landfills. And 25% of those garments still have the hang tags. This is not sustainable. The minute the industry bowed to the god of data, they were lost. Data was a false prophet, and it made the business lose sight of the real solution they needed to work towards: technology. So what do I mean by technology? Today means a lot of things, but technology to the fashion industry is something that now enhances and enables clothing production, clothing design, marketing, and even branding. Data and technology represent different states of mind. One looks back, the other looks forward. And today, consumers and technology are moving forward and evolving together.